In today's video, I'm going to be testing the performance of this Intel Xeon E5 2680 V2. I've paired the system with 32GB of RAM and a GTX 1660. So the first game I'm going to be testing is CS2. And I'm in, so let's just start a deathmatch game. And we're in. And it looks like this computer's doing just fine. It's at like 135 FPS. And the GPU is having more of a struggle than the CPU, really. The maximum CPU percentage is like 74%. But that's only on one of the cores. Most of them are pretty low at 17, 8, 30%. The max is only on one of them, which is around 60, 70. So yeah, this game runs great. Even if you have a high refresh rate monitor, this will probably be fine for you. But on 60Hz it would be perfect. So yeah, on to the next game. And the next game I'm testing is Splitgate. So let's just keep it on the default settings and hit play. And we're in. Seems to be a little less FPS than CS2, but the GPU usage is also much lower, around half. The CPU usage is much less. Each core is using about, I'd say 9 to 19%, but one of them is using 60%, 90%. It just really depends, but the GPU isn't being used much. And this game doesn't seem to be well optimized on multiple cores, because the balance between the cores isn't very good. Someone killed me through a portal, yeah. So the GPU is not the issue. And yeah, I'd say the game runs fine. Bit choppy here and there, but overall it's fine. Let's move on to the next game. The next game we are testing is Fortnite, unfortunately. So let's just hop into a battle royale game. We are now in a game of Fortnite, and what I can say, Fortnite is much more well optimized for the CPU, because each CPU core is using an equal amount, well, near equal amount. But this GPU here is struggling, hitting 97% sometimes, and there's lag spikes. This game does not run on default settings, which is probably epic settings, which is pretty bad. Oh, and FPS, yeah, you can clearly see top left there dips to 40, 20 FPS. So yeah, I don't think I'd recommend this on whatever settings it's on. Maybe if you turn the resolution down, turn the settings to medium. Let's just play a bit in epic settings for a bit to see how it is on ground. It's a little bit better. Yeah, now I'm gonna change the settings in a corner here. Let's change graphics to low. Okay, we've now changed the graphics to low settings. As you can see, we get the same performance. It's a bit disappointing, but overall it does get a higher frame rate at around 120. So that's good. So if you have like a 60Hz monitor, then this game will work fine for you if you don't mind lag spikes. Anyways, let's go on to the next game. And the next game we are testing is Minecraft. So let's just hop into a test world real quick. Now we are in Minecraft, and looks like it's running at a very stable 60 FPS. It's locked to 60 FPS actually. Let me fix that. VSync off. There we go, that's better. Max frame rate and 16 chunks. There we go, that's better. With those adjustments, we are still getting a high frame rate, And it looks like Minecraft is well optimized for the CPU, because each CPU is using quite a decent amount and is pretty balanced. The GPU, obviously, it's just chilling there because Minecraft doesn't really use the GPU, uses the CPU. So now let's do a TNT test. And now we do this. Now let's light the TNT. And as you can see, the PC was unfazed by this. And the next game I am testing is GTA 5. These are the settings I'm using. 1080p, very high settings. Go slow so you can see everything. And I'm just going to run the benchmark. As you can see, we are now on the benchmark, and it seems that GTA 5, at least the benchmark, is optimized for this CPU, because each core is using a near equal amount. On only one core it's a bit unbalanced, but that doesn't matter. As for the FPS, we are getting around 80 to 100 FPS on this, so this is really not that bad. And the GPU is using about 70%, which is pretty bad for GTA 5. GTA 5 is a game launched in 2013. This GTX 1660 came out in 2018, so not very good. You can see this is one of the lower FPS counts at 78. So the base game, the story mode, should run at like 10 FPS less than that, like 69. So yeah, if benchmark mode runs fine, your story mode should run fine. This is all at very high settings, by the way, so this is quite impressive for a CPU for £7. I mean, this is a pretty hard thing for the graphics card to render with all the stuff in the background. This is the plane part coming up. And yeah, this one's pretty bad for the GPU. You can see there 84%. And the CPU cores stay like the same. So yeah, with the CPU, no, just sticking around 30 to 34 Celsius and not really going anything out of that space. And here's one of the maximum FPS counts, 140. So yeah, this game really doesn't run that bad. And the next game we are going to test is not really a game, but it's close enough, WebGL Aquarium. So let's just hop right into it.
Open Task Manager.
We will open Task Manager to see the performance whilst it is running. So this is on 500 fish and 60 FPS as expected. With that Minecraft gameplay, I'm pretty impressed with the CPU. Let's click 1000 fish. Unhinged, still on 60 FPS. CPU at 4% usage, so yeah, this is really unhinged. Let's bump it up to 5000 fishes. Absolutely no difference, but the CPU did spike in Task Manager and is now at 10%. So still not bad. Let's bump it up to 10,000 fishes. Still unfazed, sometimes dipping to 59%, but the CPU is now on 15%, so it is going up. Also, something to note, this GPU is bumping up a bit to 30 randomly. Anyways, let's do 15,000 fishes. And this is where we see a degrade. Still a similar amount of CPU usage, 14%, but the FPS is like 48 to 58, mostly 58. So yeah, still fine, but let's bump it up, 20,000. There we go, like 43 FPS, same CPU usage. Let's do another 5,000, 25,000, 35 FPS. CPU usage is the same, but look at some of those cores. Yikes. And let's do 30,000 as the finale. 30 FPS on the last one. Wow, I'm impressed. Pretty damn good. On to the next test. A while back we tested the i7 4820K in this exact motherboard, which performed poorly, only getting about 3500 multi-thread. So after looking through the motherboard CPU compatibility list, we found this gem, the Zeon E5 2680V2. For just £7 for 10 cores, this CPU is almost half the price of the 4820K, despite having a Cinebench multi-thread score of 6938.